Greetings, fellow space enthusiasts. Today we embark on an exploration of one of the most captivating and potentially unsettling subjects connected to our cosmos. During July 2025, astronomical researchers announced their observation of a peculiar entity racing toward our solar neighborhood from the depths of interstellar space. This object measures approximately 24 kilometers across, exceeding the dimensions of Manhattan Island. Here's what generates genuine excitement and concern. Certain scientists theorize that this may not merely represent an asteroid or comet, but rather could constitute a disguised spacecraft engineered by an extraterrestrial civilization. Furthermore, hypotheses suggest its intentions might prove hostile. Let us examine what this entity represents, why it sparks such heated debates, and whether humanity should prepare for an invasion from beyond our world. Let's begin. We start with the fact that this object, designated as the third interstellar body atlas, was detected on July 1, 2025, utilizing the Atlas system. This network comprises telescopes positioned in Hawaii, Chile, and South Africa, continuously scanning the heavens for potentially hazardous asteroids. The object immediately captured attention due to its unusual trajectory. It travels along a hyperbolic orbit with an eccentricity of approximately 6. This indicates it remains unbound by our solar system's gravitational influence and clearly originated from another stellar system. This characteristic makes the third interstellar body atlas the third confirmed interstellar visitor in observational history, following the renowned Oumuamua in 2017 and Comet 2I/Borisov in 2019. But what renders the third interstellar body atlas so extraordinary? First, consider its size. Estimates suggest a diameter of roughly 20 to 24 kilometers. For perspective, Manhattan extends approximately 21 kilometers in length. This represents a massive object. The probability that such a substantial body was randomly ejected from another stellar system and subsequently entered ours remains extremely low. Astronomical calculations place this likelihood at around 0.2%. Second, examine its trajectory. The object moves within the ecliptic plane, essentially the same plane where solar system planets orbit, but with merely a 5-degree inclination. This appears unusual because interstellar objects typically arrive at more random angles. Most intriguingly, it travels in retrograde direction, contrary to normal planetary rotation. This behavior resembles a maneuver rather than random cosmic debris movement. Now let's address the most provocative aspect. A research group from Cornell University, particularly renowned astrophysicist Avi Loeb, has proposed the hypothesis that the third interstellar body atlas might not simply represent a comet, but rather a technological artifact, possibly a spacecraft. Loeb, already famous for his bold theories regarding Oumuamua, believes the object's trajectory appears too convenient for gravitational maneuvers that spacecraft utilize to conserve fuel. Moreover, according to his analysis, the object might be camouflaged as a comet. It exhibits signs of a coma and brief tail, though some researchers suggest this could result from optical effects due to its tremendous velocity of 240,000 to 1,500,000 kilometers per hour. Loeb and his colleagues from the Institute for Interstellar Studies point to another anomaly. The third interstellar body atlas proves difficult to track from Earth. When it approaches the Sun in October 2025, Earth will be positioned on the star's opposite side, complicating observation. In December, when the object passes at minimum distance from Earth, approximately 280 to 400 million kilometers, it will already be departing the solar system, again limiting detailed study opportunities. According to Loeb's opinion, this timing might not represent coincidence, but rather deliberate camouflage tactics designed to minimize detection probability. But here's the question. If this represents a spacecraft, what are its intentions? Loeb, in his article, which notably hasn't undergone peer review, suggests the object could be a controlled probe with active intelligence. This sounds like science fiction plot material, yet he doesn't advocate humanity should welcome it with open arms. However, his statements about the object's unpredictable intentions have sparked widespread speculation. Some media outlets, building on his hypothesis, have discussed possible threats. Imagine an object the size of a city, traveling at enormous speed, and we remain ignorant of its purposes. This sounds frightening, correct? But let's step back and examine this skeptically. Most astronomers, including Professor Samantha Lawler from the University of Virginia, insist that the third interstellar body atlas simply represents a comet ejected from another stellar system. They emphasize that signs of coma and tail, though faint, indicate natural origin. Additionally, interstellar comets and asteroids represent rarities, but not impossibilities. Oumuamua, for example, also generated controversy due to its elongated shape and non-gravitational acceleration. Eventually, scientists explained this through gas evaporation from its surface. Similar circumstances might apply to the third interstellar body atlas. Loeb's critics emphasize that his hypotheses often rely on insufficient data. Instead of seeking complex explanations involving planetary probes, researchers should adhere to simpler, testable theories. Nevertheless, even skeptics acknowledge the object deserves attention. Its unusual trajectory and size provoke contemplation. What if we've genuinely encountered something unique? Astronomical history knows cases where sensational discoveries faced initial rejection. For instance, when Ceres was discovered in 1801, it was first classified as a planet, then an asteroid. Now we understand it represents a dwarf planet. Or consider Pluto, which for decades was considered the ninth planet until reclassification. Space remains full of surprises, and the third interstellar body atlas might prove to be one of them. Now, let's discuss what this could mean for us. If the third interstellar body atlas truly represents a natural object, it still possesses enormous scientific value. Interstellar visitors provide rare opportunities to examine the composition and dynamics of other stellar systems. By analyzing such objects' chemical makeup, we can learn about planetary composition beyond our system and possibly discover clues about life's origins throughout the universe. Scientists have already proposed utilizing the James Webb Telescope and even Mars rovers to study the third interstellar body atlas when it passes Mars in October 2025. This could provide clearer images and structural data. But what if Loeb proves correct? If this truly represents an artifact, then we stand at the threshold of humanity's greatest discovery. First contact with extraterrestrial civilization presents not only scientific, but also philosophical, cultural, and even political challenges. How would we react? Are we prepared for dialogue with intelligence that might differ so drastically from ours that we cannot comprehend its motives? And if this vessel's intentions prove hostile, do we possess technologies for defense? NASA and other space agencies already develop asteroid defense systems, such as the DART mission, which successfully altered asteroid Dimorphos's orbit in 2022. But could these technologies handle a 24-kilometer object, potentially under intelligent control? Interestingly, the third interstellar body atlas isn't the first object generating such controversy. Oumuamua, discovered in 2017, also spawned numerous theories. Its elongated, cigar-like shape and strange acceleration unexplainable by gravity led some scientists, including Loeb, to discuss possible artificial origins. In his book, Extraterrestrial, the first sign of intelligent life beyond Earth, Loeb detailed his arguments. However, the scientific community largely rejected his hypothesis, citing natural processes like gas ejection. Similar situations occurred with Comet 2I/Borisov, which despite its interstellar nature, proved to be a typical comet compositionally. But the third interstellar body atlas stands out even against this background. Its size, trajectory, and behavior make it unique. Although the probability of it actually being a spacecraft remains low, the mere possibility forces contemplation. What if we're not alone? The universe is vast. Our galaxy alone contains billions of stars, many hosting planets. Based on Kepler telescope data estimates, the Milky Way might contain up to 40 billion Earth-like planets. If even a small fraction supports life, the probability of intelligent civilizations existing isn't negligible. If they exist, why wouldn't they send investigative probes, as we do with Voyagers or Pioneers? Incidentally, let's recall another lesser-known detail. In 2006, astronomers recorded a meteor above the Special Astrophysical Observatory in Russia, which calculations suggested might be interstellar. In 2014, meteorite CNEOS January 8, 2014 entered Earth's atmosphere over Papua New Guinea at 60 kilometers per second, too fast for a solar system object. These cases demonstrate that interstellar objects might not be as rare as believed. We've simply recently learned to notice them. Each such object forces us to question, what if these aren't merely rocks? In conclusion, the third interstellar body atlas represents a mystery captivating scientists and space enthusiasts worldwide. Most likely, it's a comet ejected from a distant stellar system, but the object's unusual characteristics leave room for speculation. We stand at the threshold of new discoveries, and the coming months, especially October and December 2025, may provide more answers. Meanwhile, I want to ask you, what do you think this object represents? Are you prepared for the possibility that this might constitute first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization? Or should we trust the skeptics? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's monitor this cosmic wonder together. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to not miss new episodes. Space calls, and we'll return to this topic. Until next time.